Hi there, and welcome to another lunar forecast with me, Manda O'Brien. This time we're having a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, and this will be on February 17th at about 2:49 in the morning Pacific time. So the ruler of this eclipse is Uranus, and that makes this a very powerful transit. Not to mention, we also have Neptune and Saturn basically conjunct in Pisces at the same time. And the opposite of this new moon is the South Node, which is in Leo. So we have the new moon bringing in this very strong Aquarian, Uranian energy that has a lot to do with seeing new ways of being, seeing new aspects of ourselves, having flashes of insight, being able to see into things that normally may not be available to us, patterns of behavior, belief systems, things that restrict us and keep us in a more limited state. But specifically, I feel this new moon eclipse is giving us an opportunity to balance the two areas of life that this eclipse rules, in my understanding, which is freedom, the Uranian energy, and love, the South Node in Leo, ruled by the Sun. That has a lot to do with our hearts and how we feel and express our love, not only in our relationships, but also with ourselves and with the universe, our relationship with life itself. So, to me, this eclipse is bringing in a new vision for how we relate to ourselves and how we relate to life through the heart, through our hearts. And it will, when this new information comes in, this new vision comes in, it will dispel old energy from past experiences in the heart. Because in order for the new energy to come in, the old energy has to go out. And so I feel this eclipse is the beginning, because we will be having another full moon eclipse on March 3rd, which will be in Leo. So this is the first eclipse, and it's going to bring in this Uranian energy, giving us the opportunity of being able to have a new vision, a new connection, new information, new insights around how we love, how we experience love, and also how we share love in our lives. Because we have Venus down here at 12 degrees conjunct the North Node in Aquarius at 12 degrees. So that brings in a whole different flavor to this eclipse. It's not just Uranus that we're feeling the influence of, but Venus is really leading the way here. And Venus is about what we love and how we love and who we love. And with Venus conjunct the North Node, it's giving us a new door that's opening in terms of our love relationship with life, and giving us an opportunity with Uranus coming in. And Uranus is the great awakener, flashes of insight. Uranus is about our individuality, our uniqueness, that each one of us is completely and totally unique in our design, in our natural design. And when we can be true to who we are, when we can really show up as an authentic being true to our nature, then life just opens up and we're in tune and we're in the flow. And Venus here, conjunct the North Node, wants us to love ourselves and to have a vision moving forward to let go of the past. The past is over. The past is done. Whatever heartbreaks, whatever betrayals or challenges that we've experienced in love in the past, we can put a full stop on those chapters. And if we can do that, if we can just allow ourselves to move beyond the past and to leave the past in the past, a whole new chapter is available to us here in terms of a much deeper, lighter way of being in love and sharing love and experiencing love for ourselves. And with the Uranus polarity here, the new moon being in Aquarius and the opposite to that being Leo, it really is about sharing from our hearts. That is what this eclipse to me is bringing our attention to, bringing in more freedom so that we can be more authentic in how we share our hearts and how we love, and also liberating us from past experiences to make space for this new energy that's coming in. And with Venus on the North Node there, we've got a very powerful ally, you could say. Venus being in Aquarius, a very powerful ally to give our hearts a new vision for our lives moving forward. So with all this Aquarius energy, we've also got Mercury there at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And he'll be getting ready to station retrograde around closer to the end of February, the last week of February. But right now he's direct in Aquarius. So there's a lot of information that can be used for this transformation that will be available to us. And we can also use this time to communicate and express in whatever way we feel to. It could be verbally, it could be through creative endeavors, but there's a need to share, there's a need to express here with all this energy in Aquarius, and a need to express in a very authentic way. And when I say authentic and being yourself, I mean being true to who you are, not feeling that you have to change your experience of reality in order to fit in, or in order to be loved, or in order to feel that you're okay. And at the same time, being equally as respectful to the uniqueness and the freedom of the other, if you're relating to a person. But also in the way that we look at the world, that we all have this incredibly unique individual design. And it's not about competing with each other. It's not about comparing ourselves with anyone else. It's about really getting to know who we are, getting to know our own unique design. And the best way of going deeper into that is by being as authentic as possible, while at the same time staying connected to our hearts and staying connected to respect, total respect for the other's uniqueness and their totally unique and authentic experience. Because in life and in astrology, it's all about polarities. So we have all this energy focused in Aquarius, which brings the polarity point of Leo into focus here. And all we have right now in Leo is the South Node. And the South Node represents our past. It represents our unconscious, the things that are stored in us from past experiences, from past lives. And that's going to get majorly triggered with this, all of this energy coming in with the new moon eclipse in Aquarius. So you may find a lot of transformation happening that is focused around releasing and accepting and allowing past experiences to dissolve so that we can look ahead, so that we're not caught in the past, so that we bring in more awareness. And awareness is really the great liberator. I mean, if you look at Uranus, Uranus has to do with consciousness. It rules the nervous system in the body, it rules the brain and the electrical system of the body. And there'll be a lot of electrical energy around. Because it's a new moon, it'll be much more gentle than if it was a full moon. But it's still the beginning of a new cycle, also in how we relate to our nervous system. So you may find that during these few days before the new moon and also a few days after, that it's a good time to really take care of your nervous system, to make sure that you're relaxing enough and slowing down and giving yourself time just to be aware, more aware, so that you can see what Uranus is bringing, so you're available for this new information. And so your nervous system doesn't get overwhelmed, where your mind then comes in and starts creating anxiety or tension. So in order to minimize that, grounding is very important. Because whenever you're dealing with a lot of electrical energy, the key is grounding. So standing barefoot on the earth, being around water, around nature, around trees, being outside, staying away from electronics as much as possible, to allow the consciousness to expand and the awareness to come in, so that you receive this new information, so that you're not distracted, so that you're present and available for this to come in, this new cycle. It's also a really, really powerful time to, look ahead and look at your life as it is at the moment, and feel into your heart as it is at the moment, and allow this new vision to emerge. Allow it to reveal itself to you. Because this is like planting seeds. The new moon is like a time of planting seeds. And these seeds that we're planting with this eclipse are in our hearts. Our heart is the soil of this new energy where these seeds are going to grow. And having a liberated heart brings more liberation into our whole lives and into our relationships. And this is going to be very much about relationships in a certain way, because of Venus being there, conjunct the North Node. And we may be seeing relationships differently. We may be in some ways aware of how certain relationships, the way they've been set up, are not serving us anymore. They're not serving our freedom to be who we are, and they're not serving our hearts and what's true to our heart. And so it's not that we have to do anything, but just allowing this awareness to be there and recognizing what's working and what's not working up till this moment can be a very powerful way for things to shift. And then if you do feel to communicate, you can. But it's really more about seeing it, being present for it, and receiving it, so that the transformation can occur. Because, like I was saying, awareness to me is one of the most magical, powerful ways to transform, to transcend, without having to do anything. Just the awareness itself is the transcendence, is the transformation. Because once you become aware of something, it's very difficult, possibly impossible, to forget that awareness. It's almost like once you step through that door, there's no going back. There's only going forward. And so having trust in life, and this is where the heart comes in, having trust in life, and especially trust in yourself. And that may be the main theme that I see happening here, is an opportunity to have a much deeper experience of trust in who you are, to trust your own intuition, trust your own heart, your own sense of direction, and your yeses and your nos, and to really honor that, maybe in a much deeper way than you ever have before. And that doesn't mean being hard on other people or rejecting other people. It just means honoring your experience, honoring your truth. And it, in a way, by doing that, it also gives the other the opportunity to do the same. It gives them the opportunity to honor what's authentic for them and to be truthful and honest with themselves. So, a very powerful access that we're entering into this portal. And I feel that the Saturn-Neptune conjunction has been preparing the way for this, and giving us more connection with compassion and with having the discipline to really see what's been hidden from us, to allow the past to dissolve, Pisces, to allow more compassion to come in for ourselves and for the world and for others, and not to get lost in the traditions and the morality and the structures of the world that have their own agenda and have their own way of telling us who we are. That may or may not be true for us. So in a way, growing up and standing our ground with the world, and instead of feeling that we have to fit into some idea that society has created, actually looking from our souls, from Pisces, and seeing, what does the universe, what is our unique design here to share in the world? Not according to anybody else, but according to our own soul and our own knowledge of who we are, and going deeper into knowing who we are. This is really what I see with this Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Knowing ourselves beyond what we've been told, what we've been taught. Knowing ourselves from the inside. And we have Uranus now direct in Taurus, setting up a beautiful trine with Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn Neptune. So this is giving us the support we need with this eclipse to really have a grounded, embodied experience of this new Uranian insights, this new Uranian energy that's being electrified into our space, into our awareness. It's supporting us to take care of the body, to ground ourselves, to slow down, to be connected with the earth, be connected with the water, which are both very grounding. You know, being in hot springs, taking baths, things like that are very, very supportive when there's a lot of electrical, static energy moving around. And we've got plenty of it in our environment without the eclipse being part of the mix. So just using that, Uranus in Taurus, bringing in new insights into our relationship with our body, with the earth, and also with our survival. So, giving us opportunities to go beyond just thinking in terms of survival, but giving us the opportunity to look at what would be really bringing our true, authentic nature into reality, into the world, where we go beyond survival, where it's not just about fulfilling bodily needs or security needs, but fulfilling our destiny as to our unique design and what we're here to bring into form, to bring into the world. So, very powerful portal, I feel, is opening here with the opportunity to really get much more in alignment with our true nature and our hearts, and to find that balance between that Aquarius Leo polarity, where it's not just all about us. We're not just completely focused on ourselves. And at the same time, we're also not just completely focused on the other and the world. That we're able to find that middle path where those two polarities become one energy. And in my experience, it's only possible to find the middle path when you're in present time, when you're in the moment, when you're here, now, feeling your heart, feeling your body, just being, and being available to these energies that want to come in and assist us and support us in cultivating a much deeper level of trust in who we are and in what life has in store for us moving forward. The other thing that I see going on here in this chart is we have Mars in Capricorn, and that's a very nice balancing energy, even though he is square to Uranus. So during this eclipse, with all this Uranian electrical energy going on, we can use this square to ground some of that energy into practical, functional action, things that help us to integrate this electrical energy. It could be working in the garden, it could be creating something. Mars in Capricorn is exalted, it's very balanced. It takes a step-by-step approach, and which helps to ground Mars's fire and creative energy. So this could be a very creative time with that square to Uranus if we can slow down and channel the energy into something that is using our action energy in a way that is grounding and cultivating patience and being able to slow down. Uranus is also square to the sun and moon. So this is also going to be creating a strong dynamic energy with the sun and moon having that square. It's going to make this energy available to us where it can be worked with. So you might find yourself wanting to write, wanting to do things where you're able to channel whatever insights into something physical, with Uranus being there in Taurus. It could be creative in the sense of artistic, music, whatever it is, something to do with using this inspiration, you could say, to express it in some way and to find a way to work with it in our daily life experience and to bring it into form instead of having feeling like there's an opposition or feeling like there's a challenge there, resisting or reacting or fighting, but just using it creatively and tuning into our hearts as a way of navigating any challenges that might arise or any feelings of being overwhelmed by the energy that's coming in, with Uranus being square there. But other than that, I feel like there's a lot of support with Jupiter up there in Gemini, and Jupiter will be going direct in the middle of March. But there's some very nice aspects from Jupiter to the North Node and to Mercury in Gemini. So in Gemini, Jupiter is helping us to bring more joy, more enjoyment into our daily life experience, into our relationships, and to have a more balanced experience of ourselves, our left and right brain, being able to be intuitive and also rational, but not allowing the rational mind to take over, staying connected with our true nature, our intuitive nature, our natural design, and at the same time being able to look ahead from there and see what direction, what new directions we feel called and pulled to move in. So a lot of beautiful supportive energy and possible challenges with the nervous system, just making sure that you take care of your nervous system and relax and allow the space to open, being present so that you can receive the energy that's available during this beautiful new moon eclipse in Aquarius. So thank you for joining me, and I'm wishing you a really beautiful, very grounded new moon eclipse, and just bringing in patience and trust into this next, until the end of February, as we move towards the full moon total lunar eclipse on March 3rd in Leo. Just working these steps within, staying with our own energy, with what's true for us, and being compassionate to ourselves and to others. So that's it for now. And I look forward to coming back and sharing my vision of this full moon that's coming up in March.